Okay, so for a couple of things, we're going to talk about some good stuff today. So let me shrink this even more. Sorry, there we go. And so normally what I would do in a class is when I start a new class, I would go through and I'd say, let's review what we did yesterday. So this area right here, so I would ask, what is this? And I'm sure all of you right now are saying it's the hypothalamus. You are correct. The hypothalamus, I heard today is quite nice and warm in Brazil. So this is what's making you sweat. When it's cold, it makes you shiver. It makes your heart race. That's your hypothalamus. Ooh, and then I would ask this one right here. Name this gland. And you would all say pituitary. That is the master gland. Oopsie. There we go. Now, today deals a lot with this green and red dot right here. So name this green area of the brain, and you would probably say hippocampus. And remember, that's for memory. So if you're remembering anything I did yesterday, that's your hippocampus. And then next we have this red area, and this red area is what makes teenagers just on fire. This red area is the amygdala, and that controls rage, hunger, sex. This is all of your big emotions. And then last, this is the one I want you to think about a lot about. This is your pineal gland. Pineal produces melatonin, and melatonin is what actually makes you go to sleep at night. Remember, it's the blue light on your phones that prevents you from sleeping. So you got to put your phone down. Oh, I have a message. Okay, so here we go. So now, have you ever felt stress? Have you ever felt so anxious? Oh, I did, because none of my presentation I'm giving you right now would work about an hour ago. I was so stressed, I was kind of crying. Yeah, I was crying. All right, so I am going to do one little thing here, hold on. All right, so.
Sorry, Ms. Raleigh, there is one question, Olivia Bertolatala. Olivia, do you want to ask by microphone, or I can read your question?
I can talk.
Okay.
Okay, so teacher, what changes in the optical lobe when you need to wear glasses?
Well, that's not your actual your optical lobe. And let me see, I don't have, it's your eyeball. Your eyeball changes shape so you don't focus correctly. And I don't know if you've ever did this when you were little, because if you did it now, I think that's, well, you might, I don't know. If you've ever used like a glass, a magnifying glass, and like focused light onto the sand and made it real hot, or started a fire that way, your eye focuses the same way. It focuses light in a spot, but when you can't see very well, it's because your eyeball changes shape, and it's not the right shape, and so you have to wear glasses to refocus the light. That's not a very good explanation because I don't have an eyeball right here, but that's what really happens. That's why you need the glasses. Does that work?
Yes, thanks, teacher.
Absolutely. So I do want to talk about stress, and you will have access to all of these movies and presentations, but I want to talk about what happens to your brain because I don't want to lose time. And you have questions, I want to answer all your questions. I don't want to take time on the movie. I mean, I do because I love the movies, but how can we reduce stress? And that's, do you guys, I don't know, do you have TikTok in Brazil? Fred?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy on TikTok, Dr. Karnar, I don't even know how to say his name, but he is very good. So if you can find him on TikTok, he's very, very good. And I like what he says about anxiety and stress. So I know a couple of you have asked about anxiety and and medicine and that kind of stuff. These are things you can do. And remember, it's only 1 minute, so we're going to watch this guy.
Here's some more science-based anxiety hacks for you. When you're
Sorry, Mr. Raleigh, we cannot see.
Oh, you can't?
No, we can't.
Oh, crud.
Oh, maybe, is that in your presentation?
Yeah.
The presentation are stuck on the first slide.
So you're still on my first slide?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
You don't see this one that says, so how could stress mess with homeostasis?
No.
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 Oh, see, so this is causing me stress right now.
No worries. So breathe in, breathe out.
Hold
Stop
on.
sharing your screen and then try it again.
All right, I got this. All right, hold on. All right, stop sharing. Okay, hi. All right, let's share again.
All right. So now the slide is, so how could stress mess with the...
Homeostasis. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna try to go ahead. Do you see a movie here?
Yes.
Yes.
That's really weird. I have no idea. Like, seriously. It's the world is just vibrating at a weird tone right now. Like everything is just going wrong, and it's okay. So all of my students in the class, or any of the adults, this is a great movie for you to watch about stress. Now let's go to this doctor right here, Dr. Karan, I don't know. Okay, can you see, are you on How Can I Reduce Anxiety?
Yep.
Yep.
Here's some more science-based anxiety hacks for you. When you're anxious, your breathing is fast and shallow. Slow it down by doing this. Step 1, breathe in for a few seconds from your nose. Step 2, hold your breath for a few seconds. Step 3, exhale for a few seconds from your mouth, making a whooshing sound. When you do this, you raise the intrathoracic pressure in your chest cavity, and because your lungs expand when you do this, it also puts pressure on the abdominal cavity and raises the intra-abdominal pressure. This stimulates my favorite nerve, the vagus nerve, which is part of the parasympathetic nervous system, the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system. So there's no fight or flight, instead there's rest and digest. The activated vagus nerve causes drop in heart rate and blood pressure, and hopefully a drop in anxiety and stress.
Okay, so exactly what you just said to me when my presentation wasn't working. You said just breathe in, breathe out. It's going to be okay. And honestly, in through your nose, hold it out through your mouth. It does wonders. But now I really like this next one that he does, okay? To hum and, well, he doesn't actually hum on this one, but this is good.
Here's a science-based hack to reduce your anxiety. Yeah, I did just wake up. Gargle some water.
Honestly, I tried this the other day. I was so stressed and I thought, okay, I need to take his advice. I got to do this. And I'm telling you, it worked. I swear to you, 100%, it worked. Okay, let's go. Let's watch.
But how does this decrease anxiety, you ask? The vagus nerve, the longest nerve in the body, is involved in controlling your heart rate and blood pressure. As it happens, it's connected to the muscles at the back of your throat and your vocal cords. Gargling can activate these muscles and stimulate the vagus nerve, thus decreasing your heart rate, blood pressure, and hopefully stress and anxiety. Duet this and show me your stress-busting gargle.
All right, so no, I did not show my gargle. But the other thing you can do to reduce stress is hum. So when you hum, you stimulate that vagus nerve and it drops your blood pressure. I live alone. Okay, that sounds really creepy, but I do. It's just me and my dog. And I sing to him all the time. So I'm usually thinking, gosh, I'm so calm when I'm at home. No, it's because I sing all the time at home. I sing his name and he wags his tail. And when I do one specific song and he knows that means it's time to play and he gets all excited and he shakes. So I'm doing these all by accident. So if you find yourself humming, like when you've got to clean the house and your mom says, you need to clean the house, and you hum when you do it, it's because you're getting rid of stress. I think that's pretty cool. Uh-oh, I don't know where see, I mean, things are just not going my way today. So we're just going to skip the other thing I was going to do, and that's okay. All right. Neuro means nerve, like all the nerves. And diversity means everybody's just a little bit different. My brain doesn't work like your brain. Now, do I store memories in the same place? Yes. Do I see in the same place? Yes. And I don't know if you have the terminology for this in where you are. For OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Do you have that? Do you talk about that?
In another words, it's called transtorno. In Portuguese, I'm gonna say it's called transtorno obsessivo compulsivo. In Portuguese is another, but
Okay.
it exists. It's talk, yes.
Okay, so this is a great movie about what that means to be OCD, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to turn off the sound here. Maybe not. I don't know what's going on. But what I want to do is, my toolbar is in my way and it's bugging me and I can't change it and things are just not going my way. But a lot of people associate OCD with having to wash their hands a lot, having to count things. And this movie goes through and it talks about how it affects your brain. So it is really interesting. And this is what I want to talk about today. How well can you read faces? And some of you are like, oh, I got this. This is super easy. But I want you to go to kahoot.it. So everybody use your phone, get out your phone and go to kahoot.it. And I got to find my Kahoot. All right. Here we go. Where's my Kahoot? Right there. Oh, crap. Hold, please. I hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. We want to play, not edit. All right. So
Miss Raleigh, while we wait for the Kahoot open, when I do yoga, my instructors always say to breathe in through my nose and breathe out through my nose as well. She said to breathe out through your mouth. It's not correct.
Well, see, there's two different things, because when you breathe out through your nose, you have to use your diaphragm and your core more than if you breathe out through your mouth.
Yeah.
So you're using different muscles, which is still very important.
Oh, okay, I see.
So practice that. So if you breathe in through your nose and then out through your nose, you have to use all of your abdominal muscles. But if you go in through your nose, out through your mouth, you are actually just letting it fly out. But when you push it out, you have to use your abdomen. So I'm sure that's why.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so for all of my students, can you see this screen or not?
No, it's frozen.
Oh, crud. Okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna try. I'm sorry, folks.
No worries, no worries.
I'm sorry, this is just a hot mess I got going here. All right, let's try.
Everything's gonna be fine. Yep, there we go, the PIN number. Camila, there we go, the PIN number.
All right.
We just can't listen to the music. That's
Oh yeah,
all.
I did. I turned it down because I was listening to you talk about your yoga.
Okay, sorry.
Oh no, I love hearing about yoga. And you got to do a little dance with it. got 9 and 10. Ooh, here we go.
Come on. Come on, guys. Still 7 people missing.
Grab my water.
Two more.
And if you can't get in because your phone quit working, you can just play along in your head. That's totally okay.
Okay, so let's start it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
What emotion is on this little baby's face? Oh, good. Most of you got this little baby. If you were holding this baby is probably giggling. How did you know? What did you look at? So anybody, tell me, how did you know that this baby was kind of giggling? Can you see his face?
Yes.
What?
Smiling.
Yeah. Look at his little eyes. They look kind of sparkly, like he's happy. That is a happy baby. All right. So now let's look at these faces. So look at the face and you tell me, is it anger, sad? Disgust means yucky and disbelief means what? Ooh, look at you guys. So now, what was it that led you to think that this is disgust?
We have the lips and the eyes. This part of the lip is a little bit more up than the other part would make like, I don't
How
know.
many of you, now I'll say that at the end. Sorry, I almost gave away the whole thing I was going to talk about. Whoopsie. But yeah, look at the mouth, look at the eyes. Good job. Let's go. What emotion are these faces saying? Ooh, very close, folks. I think she says it really well because fear is the right answer. How do you know? It's like this one doesn't really say it very well, the woman on this end, but these two, their mouth is kind of hanging open. And what are their eyebrows doing? Look at their eyebrows. They're making a that's called a furrow, but I don't know what you call it. It's a crease right there. So fear is right. Oh, it gets good. It gets good. What emotions are these folks? Oh, this is an easy one. You have it. Nice. And what did you look at? The cheeks, right? Look at the cheeks. Yay, cheeks. Everybody loves to look at the cheeks. All right. All right. What emotion are these faces saying? Oh, sorry, you were right. You were all right on that one. Sorry, I skipped too fast. I have no idea what I did, but that was surprise. And then this one. and this one, I can see why you'd say it was frustration, but also we look at the eyebrows and you look at the forehead right here, there's like creases. When I'm frustrated, I am sad. When I'm really frustrated, I wear it on my face. Okay, the big things we looked at, right? Eyes, kind of the nose, like what the nose is doing, and definitely the mouth, right? Yeah. Next one. Maybe. Shoot, I think it's in 2 more, sorry. And that is anger. So now I need all of you to make this happen with your eyebrow. Her eyebrows aren't really doing it, but try to do this with your eyebrows and do this with your mouth. So purse your lips. That means bring them together really hard. Try to, and then make your eyebrows crease. And you can even feel angry when you're doing that. Remember, that was last night's homework. Mirror neurons. When you mirror what this person's doing, you mimic or mirror the emotions. All right. Now we're going to get really tricky. Masked face. You're right. This is sad. Okay, so I have a movie attached, and she's actually the researcher and psychiatrist in the movie, and she talks about now that we are, oopsie, crud. Now that we are all in an epidemic, a pandemic, and we're wearing masks, it's hard to read people's emotions. Is it bad? No. And so sometimes you have to ask people, are you mad? And it's like, no, I have allergies and my eyes are watering. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. And sometimes you just have to ask. And that comes into play in the next thing we're going to do in about 2 minutes next, provided my computer works. You know, there's that. Okay. What are you looking at? Nice. Okay. So here's the scoop. What did you look at? And did you mirror her eyebrows? Because if you tried to mirror that, you're like, how do I feel when I'm doing this? Oh yeah, I feel angry. So think about that. When you see somebody in a mask, you need to think, like, what emotion are they trying to convey? So I've been very good about really trying to make emotions with my eyes. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I've been trying to do. All right. And I'm gonna guess that we aren't gonna see my presentation anymore, are we? Okay. Go ahead.
We can see your presentation. We are on your first slide. Yep. Okay. Now we're in your 12.
And now I'm going to hit present. So let's see what happens.
It didn't come true.
I didn't think so. Why? Because that's how today is going to go. And you know what? Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing. Have you ever been talking and you're giving a presentation, or you're at school and you forget? And you're like, oh, what's that word? What's that word? I'm going to give you a tip. This sounds really weird. Squeeze your hands together. Make a fist and squeeze it as hard as you can. It helps you remember the word you're looking for. I know, it's kind of crazy. And I didn't believe it worked until I've had to use it like 3 times in the past 2 days. And I just went, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So let me present my screen again. I have no idea if this is gonna work.
Okay, so now we can see.
Okay. And now let's hope the movie works, because this is where everything went really bad today. Really, really bad. So let's go. Okay, so if you're looking at this right here, Asperger's is a type of autism. Okay, so when we think of children with autism or people with autism, you might have like thoughts where you're like, I know people with autism, but there are so many different types of autism that you can't say all people have this. This is one type, and this is interesting. And I'm gonna skip this because he writes for a little bit. Well, maybe not, because I can't. Okay. Okay, so what if the following people asked you, what are you doing? All right, I can click out of here. So people with Asperger's can't interpret emotion. So these two people are both saying, what are you doing? There's 2 ways to say that. What are you doing? Or, hey, what are you doing? One of them is very happy and one is very angry. And if you can't read somebody's face and you can't interpret it, you might have a hard time. So if we play a little bit. But now my brain works normally, I think. I mean, I hope. I don't know. At this point, I don't even know. But this guy, you can tell. We already just talked about this, about the eyebrows. When he says, what are you doing? He's angry. And look at this person. Her little cheeks are up. She's saying, what are you doing? Because she wants to know. She's interested. She's like, oh, that's cool. Look at this one. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. One of them, the person is not happy with what you did and they're being sarcastic and they're saying it very mean. And one, they're really happy. So if we play. And once again, look at his mouth. We know that this man, well, he's sweating. He's got a little sweat going on there too. He's not happy. So when he says thanks a lot, he's being mean, like you hit his car or stole his wallet. Whereas she's saying, thanks a lot, that was really nice, what you did. So now you, as teenagers, you might come up to Minnesota and go to school, which I would love. I can't wait to be your teacher. But you may go to college and you get a roommate. And all 4 of these people could be saying, hey, I'm so glad you're my roommate. We're going to have so much fun. Or they might be saying, oh, great. I'm so glad you're my roommate. This is going to be fun. But if you can't read their face, you don't know. So if you are that person and you're thinking, oh gosh, what if I'm that person and I don't read faces well? Then you need to ask. So when you do get to go back to school and you're not virtual anymore, and somebody sits by you and they kind of say, oh, thanks. And you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if that was mean or if that was nice. I don't know. You know what? We've come to a place in our society where we have to ask. And once again, I don't have an infinite amount of time today, so I love this movie. I love this movie. All 5 of these people have autism, and they are all very different and beautiful and fabulous people. If you want to go in and watch this, I strongly recommend it. This little boy, his autism is that he can't speak. He can't speak, but he considers himself funny and creative and all those things. And that's how he describes himself. And I just think, oh, how beautiful are we? Again, you are amazing. Your brain, your body, you are amazing. You get to look at all of these people and say, I value you. You are a good person. Okay, I found this movie the other night and I couldn't wait to show it to you. I literally couldn't wait, and then it wouldn't work today. So I cried. I did. I cried earlier. It's been a bad day. But the reason I like her is she goes through and explains how to read faces when wearing a mask.
With fear and surprise. So fear and surprise have a lot of action in the eyebrows. So if you are looking at someone with a face mask, what you want to look for is any distinct movements in the eyebrows. Let's start with fear. So fear, when someone sees something they're afraid of, they widen their eyelids, so their eyelids get really white so you can see the whites of their eyes, and their eyebrows usually raise up and they, so I'm making the fear micro expression right now, and you can see.
So I'm not going to show the whole thing, because if you need to put on the captions so that you can read what she's saying, I understand. But she goes through and she talks about all of the different micro, meaning small, expressions people make, and that's how we need to interpret what people are saying. I think this is so cool, and I want you to go through and check this out. Okay, what is she saying in this one? You look at her cheeks. We know she's smiling. So you have to get really good at reading people's emotions. It's really hard, but it's really good. Let's go one more. Let's just see what we have here. Oh, this one. Contemptuous is I'm trying to think of what kind of apathy, boring, you don't care. Okay,
Or
contempt is
happiness or apathy, but actually contempt is an extremely negative emotion. The problem is, under a face mask, you can't really see it. I'm contempting.
right. So this is hard. It's hard for everybody, and I'm gonna skip that. Okay, so what do you think is happening with this couple? Are they happy? Are they getting along? What do you think?
It isn't a good situation. Like, they I think they have discussed it about something, now they were thinking inside, like, I'm right, but she can be right. I don't know.
Right. You can tell from their facial expressions, something's not going very well.
Yeah.
What about this couple?
They're interested in something that you are happy, like, for example, we like the same music, and we are watching this video right now about this music. Yeah,
Yep.
it happens.
It absolutely. So now, oopsie, sorry. When you see this video, and Camila, I was watching you, you mirrored her face. Your cheeks went up. I saw your teeth. Is that good? It means that your brain is functioning perfectly. Your brain is functioning really well. Okay, so now this is actually a lab I do with my students in class. So we're gonna do it live right here. I don't even know if the guys know I'm doing this, but this is good. Okay, so everybody, I need you to turn on your screens, or turn on, it's because I see some of you down here on the bottom. I need you to turn on your cameras because I want you to watch, and I want to watch your faces. Fred, did I show you these videos before? Did I show you these? No. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so everybody, okay. Rest your face, rest your face. Rest, rest. Come on. Now, here's what happens at movies. If your best friend, your sister, your dad, your mom, your grandma sees something and they start to giggle, what do? You giggle. So here's what would happen normally. If we were doing this in class, I would have you watching the movie and then with headphones on. And then somebody watching you. So then they have to say what the movie is about by watching your face. And everybody gets it right every time, because our brains work. Our brains work. Okay, there's two that make me cry. So you'll have to see. Just look at this, come on.
Oh, Marie.
Look at this. Look at that baby. Isn't that so cute? I know. Isn't that so cute? Yeah. Okay. I know, like at first, people are like, oh, this is going to be a sad one about a dog in a wheelchair. But then when you see how happy the dog is, so this one is really good because my students always go, it was sad, but then it got really happy. I don't know what it was about. All right. You have to watch the entire thing. Okay, don't look away. Remember, I'm watching you.
Oh my God.
Okay, do you know what the beauty is? I see there's a time delay between my playing it and you getting it, because I was waiting when I saw it, and then afterwards I was looking at Camila, and then she kind of, it was good. He was fine. The guy ended up being fine. Are you ready? I'm watching you. Oh, that was great. It speeds you up about a 2 or 3 second time delay because it hit me and then it hit you. Okay. Ready?
Here you go. That's what I mean. So rhino beetle larvae. You can just eat them raw.
Ugh.
Cooked, they're a bush delicacy, and at this time of year, there's plenty of them here.
No wonder they fry them.
Oh, it gets good.
Oh. Ready for this? Oh my goodness. This one has been living in there a very, very long time. I'm going to need to eat for a week after this one.
Ooh.
Pound for pound, insects like these contain more protein.
Okay. Now, this one is in, I want to say, I believe it's not Japanese, it's Korean. So and then they've got English subtitles. So I know that this is a whole lot. Try to get something out of it. And then we're going to talk about it. And yeah.
ผู้หญิงคนหนึ่งขอร้องให้ผมทำคลอดให้เธอก่อนกำหนดถามถึงเหตุผลเธอก็บอกแต่เพียงว่าเวลาของเราเพลินน้อยมากหลังทำคลอดเพียง2 ชั่วโมงเธออุ้มลูกแล้วก็หายไปชายคนหนึ่งกำลังจะตายด้วยโรคเนื้องอกในสมองที่สำคัญเขาควรจะยอมแพ้แล้วก็ตายไปตั้งนานแล้วในช่วงเวลาที่มนุษย์มีชีวิตอยู่มักมีคำถามเกิดขึ้นเสมอว่าเราเกิดมาทำไมเกิดมาเพื่ออะไรเด็กน้อยอยู่ในอ้อมกอดของพ่อทันเวลาบางทีคำถามนี้อาจไม่จำเป็นต้องตอบเรามีชีวิตอยู่เพื่อใครต่างหากตัวเล็กดูแลแม่ดีๆนะครับรู้ไหม
Oh, I'm totally crying right
รัก
now.
แม่มากๆพ่อก็รักผมมากเหมือนกันรู้ไหมครับพ่อรักผมมากจริงๆดูแลแม่ดีๆนะลูก
Okay. So yeah. Oh, I'm totally crying. I've had an emotional day. So here I am. I'm actually literally crying. Got my Kleenex.
It's okay.
But I watched your faces and you all got the emotion of the video. So anybody watching you would have been like, hey, what are you watching? Like, you look really sad, because it was sad. So and the sound. So remember, you're perfect. You are perfect. Your brain heard the sound. That music was sad music, right? I mean, that was not happy music. You were watching a woman take her newborn to go be with dad. I could just cry. But like, that's sad. But in the long run, it was a beautiful moment. So remember, those are mirror neurons. And this is what you were supposed to watch last night. It was in the Ed puzzle. And it talks about how the monkeys, when they couldn't get the peanut, but somebody else grabbed a peanut, their brain turned on too. Their brains liked watching other people eat. How cool is that? You guys, we're perfect. All right. So now, one of the things I wanted to show you, but the website won't come up. And like I said, it's just that day for me. I wanted to talk about homeostasis, which means one place. Homeo means one, stasis means place. So what I wanted to talk to you folks about was, when I'm hot, I sweat. When I'm cold, I shiver. If I'm under stress, and if you've ever been so stressed, like let's say you have to sing at a concert and you have a solo, yay, you got a solo. And then 2 minutes before the concert, you're sweating and you're like, oh my God, I'm so hot. I got to take this off, because your brain can't handle the stress. Your brain is misinterpreting the stress. And that's when your best friend has to come along and say, relax, you're okay. You just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You're going to be okay. And honestly, if you do feel like you're too hot and you're going to sweat, you want another tip? This is going to sound even more weird than squeezing your hands together. Ready? When you feel like you're going to pass out because you're so hot and you're so nervous, open your mouth all the way and breathe out hot air. And it cools off your brain. I know, it's dumb. It's dumb, but your brain is so easily tricked. So when you're so nervous, you're like, oh my God, I've got a test and I'm sweating. Oh my God. Just go, yes. Yeah, literally do that. I know, I'm weird. But I want you to try to watch this movie because it's really good. And once again, I sent the presentation. But high levels of anxiety. So when you are anxious, actually, maybe there's one little part in here I wanted to see.
Many of us have faced the dark symptoms of anxiety, whether writing an exam or applying for a new job. But for some, this feeling is difficult to stop even in seemingly normal situations, leaving a lasting effect on quality of life. So what's going on and why are you so anxious? Close to 7 million people are affected by generalized anxiety disorder, meaning they experience excessive anxiety that occurs more days than not for at least 6 months. This can include sleep disturbance, irritability, and muscle tension. Panic attacks are also possible, but slightly different in that they are sudden and short episodes of intense fear that trigger a severe physical reaction like accelerated heart rate, shortness of breath, and dizziness. In fact, anyone can experience a panic attack whether or not they have an anxiety disorder, and it's not always triggered by something known or specific. While not fully understood, anxiety is partially triggered by the amygdala and hypothalamus, controlling the
Oh, wait, didn't we just learn about those two? Yes. The amygdala. So when you are experiencing something, you're like, look, there's so many things. God, I wish I had you for 10 days. I want to teach you so much. But when you are experiencing something, how you interpret it as an emotion is how you're going to remember it in your hippocampus. And then this is the response. Like, this is really sad, but it kind of made me laugh. My friend's daughter got in a car accident this morning. And she left the car and just walked to school then. Like the girl just didn't even, she just kind of shrugged it off like, oh, well. And now my friend is like, what did you do? You know, and the daughter, she's 16. She's like, I don't know. I just left it. It's okay. And I mean, it's how her hypothalamus had to deal with it because she didn't know what to do. That's how you deal with things. Now, what's really cool is if you like these movies, check out some of them. It's Can Loneliness Kill You? Why are teens so moody? What? You're all teenagers. You're not moody, are you? All right. So here's the deal. When you are under high stress, you can misread faces. Like as I look at all these people, I think I can tell what their emotion is. But when you're under stress, here's what happens to me. I have 7 periods in a day, classes. And when my first class is done, I have to clean up and then get ready for my second class, right? You know, I got to make sure my other class comes in. So I'm not smiling and I'm rushed and I'm probably sweaty and I got a lot going on. But here's the deal. My students then think that I'm mad. They think I'm this. Really? I'm just happy. I'm happy. I got my students on the way. So I know that my face when I'm stressed also doesn't match how I feel. So you need to think about that. So next time your mom says, you know, we have to go to the store because we have to do this, this. And you're like, oh. And it's not that you don't want to be with your mom or go to the store. It's because you wanted to, I don't know, you wanted to hang out with your friends. So think about what your face is saying because your parents will often misinterpret you as well. I know, it's not right. Do you know Billie Eilish? Do you listen to Billie Eilish? I've got one yes, I've got a couple of no's. Billie Eilish is an American artist. She's 17. She might be 18 now. She's 17. She has Tourette's. So with Tourette's syndrome, which is that's where people like, I don't know, can you guys see my face? Okay.
Yep.
That's where sometimes a lot of people do this. You know, it's a twitch. Some people say naughty words and they swear and they'll say, eh, and they'll say something and it's like, what did I do? And it's their Tourette's. One of my favorite people is a baseball pitcher. And what he does when he pitches, he holds the ball and he does this. And before he pitches, because he has Tourette's, he goes, because he can't control his twitches, and then he throws the ball perfectly. It's really weird, but hers is so unbelievably cool. And so if you want to watch this, Billie Eilish is really talented. I don't necessarily like her music, but I know talent, and she's good. She's really good. And then last, I think this is my last thing I have. It's second last. I don't know what your words are for this. ADHD, attention deficit, that's what it means. Do you guys have that? Is that something you guys have? Okay, so, and it's just watch these two kids. I can even turn off the sound. Watch these two kids here. Okay, so they're both 6 years old in first grade. Cute. One of them has ADHD. You need to figure out which one has ADHD. So which one has attention deficit?
How old are you?
6.5. 6.
And what grade are you in?
First grade. First grade?
Do you like school?
Yeah.
No. Why do you like school?
Because I like to play with my friends at recess.
And why don't you like school?
Because I have to do a lot of stuff and my little sister's really cute and I want to spend more time with my little sister.
ADHD, attention deficit. So in the first 2 minutes when they asked her a question, where did she look? That way, right? Because she wasn't making eye contact. Oh my gosh, is that my little sister? Maybe, but you know what? We can help her. And the little boy, when she asked him a question, he looked right at her and said, I like to play with my friends. She doesn't like school. I loved school. I thought school was amazing. She doesn't like it. Why? Because she can't sit still, right? And that's hard. So this is really interesting about ADHD. And if you want to watch the whole thing, it's really interesting. And last, which I didn't really have time to get to a lot of this deals with depression. And there's a difference between being sad. When my dog, not Jax is fine, but when my dog Trixie passed away, oh my gosh, was I sad. And I mean, sad. I was so sad. And it lasted 5 days, 6 days. And then I thought, all right, I know she's a dog, but I loved her. And I kind of moved on. Depression is when you can't get out of that. So this goes through and it talks about of course, because this is how my day is going right now. I checked all the movies except for this one, apparently. But, and I can try to put a new movie in. So if you do click on this later, if you want to go through it, because I know I've got a couple of movies on depression that I can go into. And let me get out of here and I'm going to stop sharing here so that you see me. But I think it's important to know that your brain is so amazing. So other things I talk about when we're doing brain, I talk about development, what happens with food, what should you eat to make your brain work? And I think I told you yesterday, got to have carbohydrates. So you got to have some sort of grain, some sort of fruit, something like that. Protein, so some sort of either eggs, meat, some sort of protein. What if you're a vegetarian? Eat some beans. And avocados have protein and fat. Ooh, I love avocados. And then you need fat, butter, cheese, yum. Like cream in your coffee, yes. Drink the cream in your coffee. Do it, because all your brain says is, thank you, thank you, thank you. So think about that. If you eat only one food group, like you really like chips, you just eat potato chips or whatever all the time, your brain is going to actually suffer. It's going to be hard on your brain. And my darlings, that's all I have for you at this moment. I hear somebody right here. It says, I wish I could drive at that age. How old do you have to be in Brazil to drive?
18.
Well, let me tell you, I wish kids were 18 here. My car would have less dents in the parking lot. Maybe, I don't know.
Sorry, Miss Raleigh. Livia, she wants to ask a question. Livia, if you want to open your microphone.
Okay, so hi, teacher. My question is, what happens with the brain of someone who has a eating disorder?
Well, there's two things that come to my mind right away. One is they have something called body dysmorphia. Dys means against, and then how it's changing. So when they look at their body, what they're seeing isn't true. So somebody who has an eating disorder a lot of times looks in the mirror and says, oh gosh, I'm fat. And they're not. And then they say, oh my gosh, now I'm even fatter. And they're not. So that's one thing, and that's psychological. And sometimes this is really deep, but I'm going there since you asked. Sometimes there's so many bad things going on in that person's life. So many. Maybe their parents are getting divorced. Their brother went away to college and isn't home anymore. Their dog died. Like everything is going bad, 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 bad. So the only thing they can control is what they eat. So they don't. Because if you can't control anything, you can control what you put in your body. Like sometimes you can't control what you wear because you have to wear uniform to school or your parents buy you your clothes. But if you're not eating, that's your control. And so that's what some people do. So that's another psychological problem, but we can get help. For the most part, it's people need some mental help. And it might be just talking to somebody who cares. You know, that's what it might be. I don't have an answer. Oh, Mariana, you have a question. Go ahead.
My question is related, can I say?
Yeah.
It's related to the video of the homework.
Okay.
In the video, the guys showed us something about empathy and how it's related to our brains. And I wanted to know, how does it work with a psychopath, for example, that doesn't have empathy for people? This part of the brain doesn't work or what?
Yes. And I honestly, sometimes the videos that I want to show aren't the ones that I show in class. So forgive me if I don't get this right. Did that video talk about a man who had a psychological disorder? Did it have a man and he had a big beard? No, okay.
No.
Okay, so somebody that shows no empathy is missing part of their amygdala and hippocampus. Literally. So somebody who can't have feelings for other people, or to, you know, that if they, I don't know, they're mean to animals. I don't understand that at all. But if they are mean to animals, they're missing part of that amygdala and they can't feel those emotions like I would feel. If somebody hurt my dog, oh, I'd lose my mind. I can't even imagine if somebody hurt my dog. So they're missing part of their brain. Not always,
Okay.
but a lot of times that is part of it.
Okay, thank you.
So anyone else wants to ask a question or say anything to Miss Froley before we go to the end?
I do. Can you listen to me?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Luisa.
Okay. So, teacher, I have a question about the fat in your neurons. I mean, more specifically in your axons. There is a name for that. There's like
I'm gonna spell
cover. What?
It's called myelin. The
Mm-hmm.
name of that fat is myelin.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering.
No, and that's a beautiful question. If you don't have any myelin, so if you have 0 myelin on your axons, that is how MS, which is multiple sclerosis, happens. That's a disease where people get strange symptoms, and sometimes they go blind or they lose hearing in one ear, all sorts of weird things because they don't have fat around their axons.
And that's because there's no electrical isolation in their brains, right?
Right.
Okay.
Beautiful. Anyone else? Camila is thinking one question.
I see it.
All right. No?
I am done.
I think you guys can tell Miss Froley how much you like it, the class, how much you enjoyed the mock class. I think it's the first time she's teaching for Brazilians virtually, so I think she wants a feedback, right?
I loved it. I love seeing your faces. I love it. I love it so much.
So, in my opinion, you are an amazing teacher, and I'm so glad to have these classes with you because, damn, you're awesome. You're so funny, and you have so much energy. That just makes me happy. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you are a great teacher because we can see that you like teaching, so it's easier to learn this way.
Thank you.
It was amazing, teacher. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the classes was very didactic. I don't know if this word is correct, but I really love it, and you're a very good teacher. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I hope when my students come tomorrow, because tomorrow's my first day in class with students. I don't think they'll think the same thing though. I think they're not going to be happy.
Oh gosh. Okay, so thank you in behalf of everyone here, in behalf of AFIG, I want to thank you very much, Ms. Froley, for this amazing opportunity for all the Brazilian students that attend your class. Was fantastic. I have no words to thank you so much.
I loved it. So good luck.
Now invite them to have the physical class with you. Just
so now
to come here to be with me. We have so many great classes at my school. So if you are interested in science, we have an amazing science program at my school. We have 5 AP classes in science. We have I think 22 overall, but we have many AP classes. We have our science program is so amazing. So whatever you're into, electrical engineering, great, we have it. AP chemistry, we have it. I teach anatomy and physiology, so if you want to go to school to be a doctor, come see me. Let's do it. Like let's get you into some big universities. Let's do it.
That's great. So who wants to become Miss Froley student? Raise your hand. Oh, that is good. That is good. So thank you again, Miss Frawley. Thank you very much. So guys, please just stay for more 5 minutes, please. Fred's going to tell you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was going to say, so I'm going to leave then if, is that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You're allowed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Frawley.
It was amazing.
Was a pleasure.
Pessoal, vamos ficar mais 5 minutinhos só para escutar o que o Fred tem para falar e aí para vocês, como que vocês podem se tornar aí alunos da Miss Frawley ou alunos de outros professores iguais da Miss Frawley. Então vamos escutar o que o Fred tem para falar. Vamos lá, Fred.
Oi, gente, tudo bem? Rapidinho. Basicamente, eu vou só compartilhar. Deixa eu só ver se eu consigo compartilhar minha tela.
Consegue sim, Fred.
Tá, só um minutinho. Eu vou ser bem rápido. Avisa aí quando aparecer, por favor, Diego.
Tá, apareceu. Isso.
Não, basicamente, a Amerigo, eu vou ser bem rápido. A Amerigo é uma empresa que ela tem high schools nos Estados Unidos. O nível dos high schools é o nível da Miss Frawley. A gente está falando de high schools que os americanos escolhem para estudar, para se preparar para entrar nas melhores universidades dos Estados Unidos, que a maioria delas também estão entre as melhores do mundo, não é sendo pedante, mas na realidade o estudo nos Estados Unidos é algo muito de vanguarda, e vocês viram a metodologia dela. Eu tenho certeza que muitos de vocês estão tendo aulas online também ao mesmo tempo, ou tiveram aulas online durante a pandemia, e eu posso te dizer que a maioria dos professores desses colégios que a gente trabalha, eles são pessoas realmente fora da curva, por isso que a gente está falando de conseguir levar os alunos para 100 melhores universidades dos Estados Unidos em contrato. No contrato que vocês fazem, a gente consegue garantir entrar nas 100 melhores. E não é só professor, é a combinação de tudo. E essas escolas, a gente está falando desse nível que vocês tiveram aqui na mock class. A gente queria que vocês tivessem um gostinho. Eu vou confessar para vocês que eu não sou um cara das ciências, eu sou um cara de humanas, e eu realmente fico impressionado porque é gostoso de estudar ciências com uma professora assim, e para todas as áreas a gente tem esse perfil como o dela. Só alguns diferenciais da Amerigo, então essa questão de garantir a entrada nas top 100 para quem quiser pensar nas 100 melhores, mas muito mais do que entrar nas 100 melhores, quando a gente procura uma experiência de intercâmbio, quando a gente procura morar no exterior, a gente foca muito na questão, quero ter uma experiência. A Amerigo, ela foca na questão da experiência, mas muito mais que isso, a gente vai proporcionar para vocês começarem a pensar um pouco mais forte realmente na carreira. Se você acha que você quer ser uma médica, se você acha que você quer ser cientista mesmo, pesquisadora, a gente vai trabalhar muito forte isso, em você descobrir quais são suas verdadeiras skills, quais são suas habilidades e descobrir sua vocação. A gente cuida muito de quantas vagas tem, de quantos estrangeiros tem, porque 90% tem que ser americano. Então não é aquela experiência que você vai voltar com um monte de amigo da Espanha, do Canadá. Pode até ser que você faça esses amigos, porque vai ter a comunidade internacional, mas sobretudo uma experiência para você viver mesmo aquilo americano, como eles se preparam para a faculdade, tá? Então é um programa de high school, basicamente, ou seja, ensino médio nos Estados Unidos, é um ensino médio preparatório, ou seja, para se preparar para ir para a faculdade, para descobrir que faculdade que você deveria fazer. Entrar em Harvard é um sonho para todo mundo, mas saber o que você for fazer em Harvard é muito mais importante. E poder pagar Harvard é ainda mais importante. Então a gente também trabalha essa questão de bolsas e qual é o potencial que vocês têm. A única diferença maior de todas ainda é que normalmente quando a gente fala em high school, que vocês já devem ter tido amigos, primos, conhecidos, normalmente ou vai morar numa família ou vai morar na escola. A Amerigo tem uma terceira coluna, você não vai morar nem na escola, nem com a família. Por quê? Quem mora com a família geralmente reclama que pode ser uma loteria, pode ser muito pequena cidade, às vezes a família está muito ocupada. Lógico, é legal pela experiência cultural, tem várias coisas boas em morar numa família, mas tem esse lado que às vezes os brasileiros não gostam, que é um pouco loteria. Quem vai morar também na escola também reclama que é uma delícia. A parte boa, você já acorda dentro da sala de aula, não precisa ir até a escola e tal, mas tem um lado ruim que geralmente no sábado e no domingo você não se sente parte da cidade, né? Você não pode fazer um churrasco na escola no domingo. Então a gente tem casas realmente legais de você só divide quarto com uma pessoa, ou às vezes individual, não tem quarto triplo, aquela coisa Harry Potter, um banheiro para 10, não. A gente está falando de casas bem confortáveis e pequenas, e onde você está a 5 ou 10 minutos da escola para misturar os dois mundos. Eu não vou tomar mais o tempo de vocês, eu vou parar de dividir a tela. O que eu queria dizer é que a gente realmente tem um modelo feito para preparar vocês para o futuro, porque a geração de vocês, infelizmente, não vai disputar só o mercado de trabalho com um amigo que está estudando mais ou com aquele cara que sentou um pouco mais que vocês para estudar. Na realidade, o mercado de trabalho de vocês vai ser mais desafiador ainda, porque vocês também vão disputar com a inteligência artificial, com o computador. Vocês já ouviram esse papo? Então, não se preocupem tanto com essa coisa, essa paranoia brasileira de escolher a profissão, de eu ter que ser advogado, médico, engenheiro, porque 46% das profissões que a geração de vocês vão atuar daqui a 15 anos sequer existem. O mais importante que vocês podem fazer para a vida de vocês como conselho é descobrir em que vocês são bons, quais são as vocações de vocês, quais são os seus verdadeiros talentos, porque possivelmente a profissão que você está imaginando hoje pode até ser um caminho, mas muito provavelmente você vai misturar outras profissões quando chegar a sua vez da faculdade, do mercado de trabalho. Então, invistam mais em saber mais de vocês e menos só a paranoia, se puderem, claro, e menos só a paranoia do Enem, porque passar na faculdade não é o portal para a vida plena, não é só porque você entrou na Unicamp, na USP, que está tudo resolvido na sua vida. Mais importante é conhecer vocês mesmos, e isso eu acho que é a maior diferença entre a escola brasileira e a escola boa americana, que é realmente investir em vocês. Tá bom? Eu vou parar de dividir aqui.
Muito legal, Fred. Rapidinho, só uma pergunta aqui a Laura Maria. Laura Maria, você quer abrir seu microfone e falar direto com o Fred? Você prefere que eu leia?
Não, eu já li até.
Ela quer. Pode falar, Laura.
Pergunta, Laura. Pode.
Ah, tá. Era só para saber quem está no terceiro ano do ensino médio faz o quê, assim?
Não tem problema. Na verdade, assim, a gente tem alguns casos, não é tão comum, mas a gente tem casos sim, desde que você esteja disposta a fazer um ano de novo do ensino médio, é possível ir até com 18. A gente já teve aluno até de 19 anos, que você pode fazer como se fosse o terceiro de novo nos Estados Unidos. E tem outra diferença. O calendário brasileiro da escola, você termina a escola em dezembro. A escola nos Estados Unidos, o ano escolar termina em junho. Então, de qualquer forma, se você, por exemplo, fosse uma americana, você ainda teria um semestre a mais. Então, não tem esse problema de você estar no terceiro ano. Basta você estar disposta a continuar a estudar e ter a vida do ensino médio. Mas é possível ir mesmo depois de terminar o ensino médio no Brasil.
Bacana. Maria, é Maria ou Mariah?
Maria, pode ser Maria.
Tá bom, Maria, você pode perguntar?
Eu queria saber onde eu posso entrar em contato, assim, se do e-mail, para eu ver alguns detalhes.
Com certeza, legal. Gente, ó, você quer que... Como que você quer fazer, Fred?
Não, eu posso falar. A EFIG é uma das poucas empresas que representam a Amerigo no Brasil, e a gente pode organizar uma call entre nós, eu digo eu mesmo, eu sou o recrutador da empresa para a América Latina toda, então a gente pode organizar uma call entre eu, você, seus pais e o time da EFIG, todo mundo no computador, e eu explico todo o programa, tudo direitinho, principalmente para os seus pais, que com certeza vão querer estar envolvidos nessa conversa. E a outra coisa que a gente pode fazer também, assim, para todo mundo que está ouvindo, por exemplo, eu imagino que pode ser que tenha gente que adorou ciências, mas queria saber como funciona, por exemplo, esportes ou artes ou humanas. A gente pode organizar, inclusive, calls de vocês, alunos, com outros professores, como o caso da Miss Frawley. A gente pode também, por exemplo, sei lá, eu amo história. A gente pode achar uma professora de história para vocês conversarem e sentir essa diferença.
E a gente está tentando trazer um professor aí de ciências, né, Fred? Uma surpresa. Nem vou falar para onde ela foi. Vamos ficar quietinho, mas é uma professora muito bacana que a gente está tentando trazer para vocês.
Fiquem ligados. É na área de ciências também. Eu imagino que quem está aqui curte ciências no geral. Vai ser bem divertido. Tem a ver com o espaço só.
Galera, eu coloquei aqui meu e-mail e meu telefone, então se você estiver interessado nessa grande oportunidade, galera, que a Amerigo não é simplesmente um high school, é uma oportunidade para você se preparar, como o Fred falou, para ir para as grandes universidades. Então quem tiver interesse, só tirar um screenshot ou anota o meu número aí, manda um WhatsApp que a gente marca uma reunião com seus pais, vocês, o time da EFIG,
Quem tiver, só desculpa interromper, porque eu acho que é importante. Quem tiver também aqui, assim, naquela dúvida, putz, acho que meu pai e minha mãe não vão entender, eu quero ver primeiro antes de falar com a minha mãe. A gente não liga de fazer primeiro só com vocês, explica tudo, depois
Não,
faz de novo com a
imagina.
mãe. Eu sei que às vezes meu pai não vai ter paciência de ouvir tudo. Beleza, a gente faz 2, 3, fica tranquilo.
Isso, a gente só me ligar, manda um WhatsApp que a gente marca um call e a gente conversa direitinho, tá bom? Galera, eu queria agradecer, Fred, muito obrigado pela sua oportunidade de trazer a Miss Frawley aqui, a galera adorou, e não só a galera, mas eu me diverti muito, muito obrigado, a parceria é muito grande, muito obrigado mesmo. E galera, eu quero convidar vocês, bom, o mês de agosto acabou, mês de setembro tá chegando, setembro, novidades, semana que vem, a Top First no Canadá, a Universidade de Toronto vai vir na quinta-feira, às 5 horas da tarde, para falar com vocês de como funcionam as universidades no Canadá e como que é a admissão na melhor universidade canadense. Na próxima semana, dia 10, um mock class de um community college americano que vai falar sobre artes. Então aí a galera que curte artes, que curte essa parte de criatividade, não percam, vai ser o mesmo horário, vai ser no dia 10 às 3 horas da tarde. A conversa com a Toronto, 5 horas da tarde. E aí no dia 17 de setembro, 5 horas da tarde também, uma conversa muito bacana de como que é ser um engenheiro na Irlanda. É um país aí que está crescendo muito, com muitas oportunidades, e aí a gente vai ter um representante de uma universidade falando sobre essa carreira na Irlanda, tá bom? Todos vocês vão receber por e-mail, fica de olho no e-mail e não se esqueçam de se registrar, tá bom? Muito obrigado.
Seu número não foi, Diego. A galera não está conseguindo ver.
Desculpa, eu mandei só para Laura. Oi.
E, galera, quem quiser falar comigo também, o Diego tem todos os meus contatos, ele me acha onde eu estiver no planeta, tá bom? Valeu, obrigadão pela presença de todo mundo. Estudem, que é uma das coisas mais importantes que vocês podem fazer na vida. Estudem e achem aquilo que realmente vocês gostam de fazer na vida. Valeu, um abraço para todo mundo. Obrigadão, Diego, um abraço.
Falou, Fred, obrigado. Obrigado, gente. Vejo vocês semana que vem. Obrigado. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau, obrigada.